How has COVID-19 affected you, your family, and or your community?
So COVID-19 affected my family by, was more to me of the after effect. While it was happening, I was blessed enough that I was able to continue working my full-time job, which we just went virtual. So I'm happy that, in a financial sense, I was able to work. And even when I was exposed to COVID, I was able to still work because we were still virtual. And it was just the after effect, of the financial aspect, everything going up and everything changing, which I had to go back to work, working two jobs, just to build back up. So that's how it affected me.
Okay.
Okay, it affected me because I got laid off from my job. And so, they brought us back, here and there. But, it was just like it was like a big strain. It's not that I was affected so much, it was the mental thing because we didn't know what was going to happen. You heard I had a lot of family members and close friends that we were losing. And I was stuck in the house, of course, because we sheltered in place we stayed in. And I was in the house with a family of five, which was very hard. Everybody tried to stay in their, own places. And then myself and my husband, we got COVID in the same time. And then we trying to keep everybody else safe. You didn't know how it was going to end up, at the
Right.
end. And plus I'm high risk. So I was really nervous about myself having it, and my husband's high risk as well. So it was just like, it like mentally, it just, kind of affected you a little bit there because you didn't know which way or how the healing process was going to go, you know. But, we got through it. But at the end, I did not return work. They did not bring me back. So I was laid off. But, we were blessed, with unemployment. But
Mhm.
still, it's just a lot, just trying to get used to everything and the long lines in the stores and running out of products. And you're not knowing if you're going to be able to get paper towels, tissue, the little necessities that you would never think about that would affect your whole household of five. But you're trying to, we're trying to keep everything supplied in here. And, when you did go to the grocery store, it was just the stress of the lines of the store. But, overall, we made it, but we did get COVID a second time.
Oh,
And so, we had to go through that process again and just try to, keep everybody safe and worry, about just praying we all made it through. And I, like I said, we had a lot of loss during that time. And it had got really stressed and depressed a little bit, just of feeling the hurt from other people and knowing, that we was affected by the loss of so many people that passed away.
right, right. I totally
Mhm.
forgot about the grocery store craziness. So
Yes,
I'm glad that's behind us, well, at least for the lack of products. So,
yes, yes.
the next question is: have you been vaccinated for COVID-19? And if you're not, do you plan on becoming vaccinated?
No, I am not vaccinated, and no, I did not plan on it. I just didn't, know too much about the shot. I didn't want to take the risk. Luckily, my job didn't force it on me. I was able to just get tested weekly, and that's what I did.
Has your views changed since the vaccine came out, or is it still something that you're not
No,
sure
I
of?
mean, no, and I just looked at other people and the effects, because it was like, okay, I know the shot was not going to prevent you from getting it. It was supposed to prevent you from getting it as bad. But just even as someone who didn't take it, looking at others who had the shot and then they were still sick. They were sick from the shot. I saw coworkers going through horrible things from the shot. And then people who caught COVID a second time, who experienced it badly, even though they had it. So, it was just mixed, views. And, so I just didn't feel like it made sense to get it because it just didn't seem to really do anything.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I am fully vaccinated. And actually, I'm going to get my third booster on the 19th of this month. And I still like, with the first time when we got exposed to COVID, we hadn't been vaccinated then, and my views were a little different. But after we got COVID the first time, I said, "Oh no!" So I told my family, I said, "No, we have to be vaccinated." So everybody in my house, we went and got vaccinated. And like I said, I have all the shots. I'm up to date with all of them, and I still got COVID again now the second time, even though. But the thing about what I realized the second time, I didn't have it as bad. I
Okay.
still had a lot of, horrible symptoms, but it wasn't as bad as the first time. The first time I had to go get the antibody. You know how they give you the antibody? So we had to
Mhm.
go to the hospital, my husband and myself, and they did give us those I think about 4 or 5 hours infusions we had to get because we high risk and they offered them to us, and the
Okay.
urgent care sent us straight there. But yes, we
Okay.
are vaccinated.
All right. And so, since you are vaccinated, what was that experience like from making the appointment to receiving the vaccine?
Well, for making an appointment, it wasn't too bad because, we kind of got it after everybody was standing in long lines, except for one of my daughters. I had to take them, but it wasn't too bad. We just went and did what we had to do. But after fact, like Jessica said, my husband didn't have any side effects, but it did bother me.
Hmm.
Each shot I got, it did affect me. But I was rather have the shot than to deal with whatever could have happened, if I continuing to get COVID.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So, who and where did you both get information about the COVID vaccine? And was it a source that you trusted?
Jessica, you gonna go first? Okay. Okay.
Where did I find out about it? I think I just mainly saw it on TV, and like if I went to the doctor, they would ask me, and my doctor, um, you know, when I was still iffy about it, she told me, it has been researched on. It was something that was already in, they were trying to come up with, it was a vaccine that was already being made before it became like a big thing
Hmm.
here. So it's not like it was a new vaccine, but they kind of had to, get it out there. So yeah, my doctor, yeah, she is a trusted source. I mean, seeing it on a TV, no, but
Yeah.
that's where I heard it from. But mainly, you heard it on TV, you heard it on the radio, and yeah.
Okay.
My family, my husband and myself mainly, we stayed glued into CNN between CNN and watch the 12 news, and just by hearing word of mouth. And so it was a lot of us, not just myself, a lot of people's kind of iffy, about getting it. And that's why I said the first time when I did get COVID, I called myself being careful, when using the gloves in the supermarket. And then after I realized I got COVID, I said, yes, I better trust them and go get the vaccination,
Yeah.
And then my
Yes.
doctor also, every time I go to the doctor, he wants to know, were we vaccinated? So, word from the doctor as well.
Okay. So, was it easy? So, do you think it's easy to get the vaccine in your community? And if not, um, what do you think would make it easier for those individuals who are having a hard time getting it? And looking at the community, not just specifically like the town that you live in, but even like some of the surrounding towns that you might live in. Do you think that it's easy for individuals to get the vaccine? And if
Yeah,
not, what do you think would make it easier for them to get it?
I
Wow.
think yes, it is easy.
You
It's
think it is easy?
it's publicized everywhere. Like I feel like you're like your local CVS or pharmacies that were offering it. I think they did a great job with that. And even like the doctor's office, trying to like, once, whoever could get it, I think that they tried as much as they can. Even I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jobs had places that they connected with that was given the vaccine. And so I think, it did help a lot. And that it was an effective way that they spreaded the, giving of the vaccine. So I think that they did a good job.
You're muted, Tiffany. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So kind of going back on this question a little bit, and you answered a little bit. I didn't know if you wanted to go into any more detail, but do you think there were any barriers or challenges for individuals to get the vaccine?
For me, I felt that it was easy because, like Jessica said, through the CVS, that's where I got all of my vaccine, and you could get it everywhere. I mean, the supermarkets was offering them. In the beginning, it was challenging because the lines were so long to even get tested. But even here where we live at, they offered it here in our community. Our housing itself, they was making it easier for people want to be vaccinated. They also was offering, everybody was trying to be, very helpful about it. Even the churches, they
Okay,
had
good.
sites at our church where, they was doing vaccine for people free as well.
Okay, good. So what do you think that the state and local health departments could do to improve communications and messages about the vaccine? What do you think they could do better?
Personally, I don't see anything because they was getting the information out. I felt like the information was there. If
Okay,
people really want to get vaccinated, I felt like they did a great job because they didn't stop. I mean, you see it everywhere. People, pushing the vaccine. So I felt like they did well.
okay.
Mhm.
I agree. I believe that they did a good job. And if I'm not mistaken, they even called like when it was people's second time to like get the other shot,
Yeah.
because one of my best friends did, and they called like, okay, it's time. I see you haven't gotten it yet, or this and that. So I believe that they did a great job, keeping on top of the vaccine and making sure
Right.
people were vaccinated.
Yeah. So do you think, how do you think that the state and local organizations can contribute so that people feel more confident in and access to the vaccine? Like you were both saying that in the beginning, everybody was, concerned. What do you think that they could have done to help gain people's confidence in and access to the vaccine?
That's a
I
tough one.
okay. I feel like maybe they to me they put out a lot of resource about it. So if you really want to get the vaccination, to get that vaccine, rather the doctors, they was explaining, and that's who my resource was, calling the doctor's office, finding out about it, and then by looking up, I'll Google something in a minute,
Hmm.
Googling things, finding out the side effects. That was my biggest question, was the
Yeah.
side effect. But I think, to me that, it was there, and I think they explained it well.
Okay, good. Um, so you both talked a little bit about what the conversations with your doctors about or your healthcare providers about the vaccine. Was there anything else that they provided for you to help you make your decision?
No, they just highly suggested, that I, get it. And to this day, every time I go in, if I need a physical or something, are you vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? So, they didn't force it, but they did, explain, the importance of it.
Okay.
So I thought, the doctor did do the right thing. You know,
Yep. You just made that choice not to. So, but they
right. But I
didn't
don't think,
put like, yeah.
yeah, I don't think the doctors lacked anything or
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now my opinion about it, I feel like the doctors should, like if you went for a visit, I felt like they should have been able to offer it to you in their office.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have to have, stand in long lines or making appointments on the app. Sometimes the app crashing, you got to start all over again, trying to find, because it was a little, I forgot that part when the first time when I was trying to do it, trying to search the right place where I could sign up, and search where in my area. And that was a little difficult in the beginning, trying to schedule for the vaccine. So I feel like they should have made it where your primary doctor could have given it to you. I do feel like that.
Add that as another option of a place where
Right,
you could get
another
the
option,
vaccine.
right. Right,
Okay.
instead of
Okay.
have to go CVS and everything, if you have a primary doctor, you should have been able to go into the office, to get those
Yep.
vaccines. Mhm.
All right. So do you think that the communities in the state of New Jersey were given equal access or information to the vaccine? And if not, do you feel that there's a certain community in New Jersey that might have been left out?
No, I believe like the way they were stationed out, and like I said, it's your local pharmacy you can go to. So I feel like I personally don't like, having friends from different communities, didn't think there was, anyone lacking the vaccine, or one could get it, at one place and one couldn't. I think that too goes along with the wait time and the lines. So of course, you might have a longer line here, so you might have went to another city, but that's just because of the convenience, not because of the lack of the distribution of the vaccine.
Okay.
Yes,
Tony, do you?
I agree with Jessica. 'Cause I felt like they, that it was no problem that they got it out there.
Okay.
I have not heard of any community where, they was not, enlightened about it, what they should do. I think everybody, was pretty much informed because people, they worried about themselves. So they definitely wanted the community to get the information.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So the last question that I have, and I thank you both so much for all of this feedback. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that I might not have asked, that you'd like the Department of Health to know, about this whole pandemic?
I don't.
Okay.
Only thing I was concerned about people around that was getting COVID. I'm just wondering, was the information really getting to the right people to know when somebody had, had exposure? That's what my concern used to be, was it
Yeah.
really getting out there that you had been exposed or somebody been around you? Was they really contact tracing?
Okay.
That was my concern.
Okay. That's a good thing. And were you ever contacted by the Department of Health that you were exposed, to somebody that had COVID, or you didn't experience that?
No, I didn't. I did not experience that, and I know a lot of people around me had it, but no, I never experienced them contacting me. They
Okay.
only, when I contact them, they did, call back to make sure we were good.
Right,
Mhm.
right.